here I am, once again, talking to you guys about poison counter decks. This one in particular is Infect. And I just thought it would be really funny to put a Glistening Oil on Heartless Hidetsugu. Oh, lordy, I'm terrible. Okay, but so Heartless Hidetsugu is a 5 casting cost, 4/3. You can tap him, and he deals to each player damage equal to half that player's life total, rounded down. So if everybody's at 20 still, and I slap a Glistening Oil on him, which gives him Infect, everybody's gonna die. Of course, I don't want to die along with them, but it has happened on a few occasions. So, in order to ensure that I don't go with everyone else, I threw in Nashi Moonsage's Scion. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of each player's library. To end a turn, you may play one of those cards. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost. So long as I get below 20 and I pop off Heartless Hidetsugu with the Glistening Oil on it, I'll be alright. I also have Reanimate, and it's just the 1 black, uncommon by the way. Put target creature card from a graveyard into play under your control. You lose life equal to that creature's converted mana cost. Of course, it's always a gamble to lose life, especially when you've got things that say Infect on it. But another way I make sure that I'm not at 20 life is with Yawgmoth, Thran, Physician. I can pay a life, sacrifice another creature, and put a -1/-1 counter on up to 1 target creature and draw a card. Originally, this deck was called the Crumbling Ashes deck, but I now lovingly call it Crumbling Asses deck. At the beginning of my upkeep, I can destroy a target creature with a -1/-1 counter on it. So it started off as me wanting to just destroy creatures that I had put -1/-1 counters on, until I realized what Hidetsugu did with the Glistening Oil on it. So the original idea was just to put -1/-1 counters on people's creatures. And one way I was trying to do that is with Sickle Ripper. Sickle Ripper. I sometimes want to say Sickle Whipper. But he's a 2/1 with Wither. And Wither means that he deals damage to creatures in the form of -1/-1 counters. You know, half of like what Infect does. Because Infect creatures do damage to creatures, and it results in -1/-1 counters. Wither just doesn't do Infect get damage to players. There's more Wither creatures in here. Oh. Corrosive Mentor pretty much makes all my black creatures Wither creatures. And he's a 1/3 for 3, so it's not bad. So that, in turn, can make my Yawgmoth Wither. It can make the Soul Snuffers Wither, and the Skinrender Wither, and the Soul of Innistrad Wither, and Geth, Lord of the Vault, he could even have Wither, which is crazy. We'll come back to those creatures in a moment. Because we're still talking about how to put -1/-1 counters on our opponent's creatures. So for that, I also put a Contagion Clasp or 2 in there. I mean, it also helps me proliferate, so why not? And there is the bigger deal, the Contagion Engine, I believe it's called, where it puts -1/-1 counters on all of target opponent's creatures. I have that in another deck, so I figured might as well you know, go a bit smaller and target only specific creatures instead of the whole board. But in case I need to find any of these pieces, I've got the Diabolic Tutor in there. Not the best tutor, but a good tutor. Just in case I can't find my Yawgmoth, or the Rustrazor Butcher, which is a 1/2 first strike wither, but he's a red creature. Or my Alesha, who smiles at death, which is a 3/2 first strike. When she attacks, I can pay 2 black in this deck and return to our creature card power 2 or less from a graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. So that's a good way to get back the Sickle Ripper or whatever creature that I may want to pick out. And yes, let's introduce the rest of the creatures. So we got Geth, Lord of the Vault. He's just a 5/5 Intimidate. And I can pay X and a black to put target artifact or creature card with a converted mana cost X from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield under my control tapped. Then that player puts the top X cards of their library into their graveyard. So I figured I might be putting things in the graveyard with the Crumbling Ashes. Might as well be able to get out what I need to use against them. We have the Soul Snuffers, that when it comes into play I can put a 1/1 counter on each creature, even my own creatures. So that gets a little dicey. I gotta be careful with that. And then I got the Skinrender, and when he enters the battlefield I can put 3 neg1 counters on target creature. So a big baddie can get turned into a little guy real fast. I got the Soul of Innistrad in there, just so I can get creatures back from the graveyard. But I love having a 6/6 Death Touch Wither. And then we just got some enchantments. We got the Blowfly Infestation. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from play, if it had a neg1 counter on it, put a neg1 counter on target creature. So that's another way to put neg1 counters on creatures. And we've got Everlasting Torment in there, just because it's fun. So damage can't be prevented. All damage is dealt as though it's Source-Side Wither. So even my red creatures in here, and the creatures that I steal from other people, will have Wither. Not to mention that people can't gain life, which is always nice. Even though life doesn't matter with this deck, we're doling out poison counters. And as if that wasn't enough, attacking creatures I control have double strike. Why not? Let's get the most bang for our buck. And just for fun, we got the Swiftfoot Boots to make sure that the Heartless Hidetsugu can do his thing when the tournament comes in. I got some pretty lands in here. I got the new Kamigawa Neon Dynasty lands. I think they're really awesome. The foils especially. Ooh, looky. Oops, sorry, glare. Another foil. And I want to show you guys the swamp foil, because it's, I think, one of the prettiest lands in the Neon Dynasty set. That besides the Dragonfly Island. But I think that's super pretty. And then we've got some Pathways and some Crimson Vow lands, just until I get more Neon Dynasty lands. Again, thank you guys for watching. This one's going a bit long. I like talking to you guys. Don't let me go too long. But I'll see you guys next time.